Hello everyone in the third episode of the Unicum guide, and today we are going to take a look at the Bái Láng. Now, we already took a look at the Unicum, so this tank is the other light tank in Steel Hunter. And is it any different? Well, there are a lot of similarities, but there are also a lot of differences. It has other guns, such as HE gun, magazine gun, reload speed gun. I will be using the reload speed gun but if you play on EU server, don't use the reload speed gun, use the magazine reloading at tier 7 or the HE gun. But I started the match by tracking myself. Not the best start, but there's a wolf here, so that's free XP for us. Now, this tank is slightly slower, but has slightly better hit survivability than the Unicum. And has nuanced abilities as well. Acid shot, it does a lot of damage, just like the airstrike, but instead of damaging an area, it damages one tank, like the tank that you hit. It can damage multiple tanks if you use the HE gun, but yeah, very important shot right there, as you can see. Oh wait, by the way, you should never use the minimap as this small. And also, I use the minimap on 1.5 times zoom. 1 times zoom is a bit too much for me. I wanna know where I am in the map. But it's not too far, so I cannot see any details. So I chose Dynamics and Reload Speed Gun. Dynamics because I wanna choose the hit points setup for this tank. Now, this tank has, with the hit point setup, actually has a lot of HP, but there's also another thing that most people don't realize about this tank, is that this tank can actually ram very well. At least light tanks, or squishy medium tanks. Yeah, this tank is actually a better rammer than the Valkyrie, in some situations. But Valkyrie is still better at ramming medium tanks and other heavy tanks, so don't ram everything you see, of course, that's not what I'm saying. If you upgrade to the 8 points, so you can ram small tanks. And that's exactly what I'm gonna show you here. There's a guy there, he's shooting a bot. He's a tier 4 Bái Láng. He's not really... I'm only one level higher, but look at this. 750 damage, just like that. And he's gone. He couldn't even do anything. Now I ram this wolf. Do I ram more? Yeah, no. But I ram about equal to this wolf as well. And just like that, tier 6 achieved. Hit points. Again, I recommend hit points turret, unless you wanna go with the magazine, because then you wanna choose the other turret. Now, on EU server, most people would use the HE gun, but the magazine reloading can also work. You just need to use the other turret. And the biggest problem with the reload speed gun... okay, nice hit textures. Whatever. So, the biggest problem with the reload speed gun on EU server is the fact that it has the same DPM as the magazine reloading, but it doesn't have the burst damage. Although, personally, I never tried the reload speed gun on the EU server, so I might be wrong about the gun. Maybe it's good, but on the Rush, on the Lesta server, it's a really good gun, the reload speed gun. So if you play on Lesta, always pick the reload speed gun, because the other guns are just worse. Like, the magazine reloading is nerfed compared to the EU server. Like, it literally has worse DPM than the tier 1. Yes, tier 1 gun has better DPM than the tier 7 magazine reloading. So, but this is only on Lesta, okay? On EU, you can choose the magazine reloading. Now, I picked this gun. This gun has 465 alpha damage, as you can see. I height rolled slightly, so this gun is really good. It's also pretty accurate compared to the HE gun. The HE gun on the Lesta server only has 550, so it got nerfed. And the HE is the same garbage. Although I can make it work, but you shouldn't use the HE with it. Acid shot into him, probably a mistake. I really should have not done that. And now this guy activates the ability, so I have to get out of here because he will farm me. And now I can heal. My robot is distracting him. Very good. I tried to track him, but I just shoot him once. And now he's distracted by my robot. He has the auto reloader gun, which is what you should use on the Harbinger. I shoot his turret, so I don't bounce. And now this Variag appears. He's showing his rear. Now, even like you need to be careful not to shoot this side. And with small caliber guns, such as this gun, it's a 75mm, 85mm gun. You don't want to shoot the engine deck. You want to shoot this part of the hull or the turret, but the turret can be tricky because there are spaced armor on the sides. But from this turret or the rear, because if your shell goes here, you're going to bounce. This gun has pretty bad penetration, only 200. So you got to make sure to pen your shots and aim well with this gun. The HE gun has even worse, 170mm penetration with the AP. As you can see, I'm struggling quite a bit with this guy, even though he's 2 levels lower than me. Now I aim for his upper plate, which is much easier to penetrate than his turret. I hit his engine, and look! Did you see that? My perk showed his engine being orange, and I'm aiming at him, but now I don't see... He repaired his engine because there's no more damage modules. So I activate my acid shot, and he has no way to repair this. As you can see, 200, 260, 300. And basically I did 500 damage to him, just like that. Just because I paid attention to my crew skills. This is the only crew skill probably in Steel Hunter. Look, by the way, he put landmines, so I'm just... avoiding it. This is probably the only time this crew skill is useful. But sadly, if I remember this correctly, EU server for light tanks have different crew skills, which is a real shame because this crew skill actually makes a lot of sense on the Bái Láng and the Harlequin because both tanks have abilities that can be countered by the repair kit. What do you think about the idea of Steel Hunter commanders having 2 free crew skills to choose from? Let me down in the comments. Now I shoot this guy, he's also 2 levels lower me. And now I make a mistake, I don't see the landmines, so I drive into them. And that's quite a bit of that's a bit annoying, but whatever. And I'm not paying attention again and drive into another minefield. And now I find this guy here. He's on the drop. I am stunned. I don't have repair kits, but I won't repair it because I don't need it. I'm shooting his turret side, so I pen. Valkyr just fired behind me. I don't really care about him because, like, not a big threat to me. But that guy, that's a really good double from him. 920, that's exactly the average roll. Try to pen, I actually do. And now I'm in a bit of a tricky situation. There are people shooting me from like 3 sides, so that's quite bad. And there's a guy down there on the green drop, which is also not very good because he can go up the stairs and reset me while I'm picking up the drop, which would be really bad. And I also have only half HP, so I need to be careful. There's 8 people apart from me, so I cannot just rush because like there's so many people. I track the Beowulf and I saw him getting stunned, which is very important because now I see him not being stunned, which means he must have used the repair kit, otherwise there's no way he could have removed the stun. So that means another acid shot into him, and as you can see, 741 damage just like that, just because he couldn't repair his my acid. So using acid shot at the right time can make or break this tank. And now this guy is getting shot at by this Harlequin, and I decide to shoot him because he's a bit more dangerous. I miss, sadly. I got my acid shot back. There's a guy behind me. I need to be careful. Luckily, I have 360 vision cone, which you wouldn't have in the EU server, but I mean, I could just look there after I shoot. And now this Variag is down there, and I realize I have to get out of here, because look at the zone. I have to get out, and have to be quick. Hopefully this Variag isn't paying attention, because if he is, then he can place down minefield, which would be really bad for us. And now I'm gonna sit here and camp, basically. Heal back a bit. Shoot this guy. Okay, actually I'm shooting the Beowulf, but I bounce his turret side, which is very unlucky. Now this Variag is shooting me. I bounce him again, that's also pretty unlucky. And now this Variag is like, what is he doing? Okay, I'm shooting his turret rear, and now I heal back. Maybe I can shoot this guy one more time. Yeah, very good. So as you can see, this gun has really good DPM, 4,800, about 4,800 DPM on the Leicester server. And it's very accurate, but it has very bad pen for a real speed gun. Nice, juicy pen. It also has a lot of alpha damage, so that's nice. I want to shoot the Arlequin, but I just shoot this guy to get more damage. And now I saw this guy coming for me, so I want to shoot him before he gets here, so he will start with a disadvantage. And he has half HP, I have full HP. I wanna... He also gets shot by the Variag. I wanna shoot the Variag, but I see this guy coming, so I wanna shoot him. And now he's dead. Very good. Shoot the Variag again. And now I see the Arlequin. I probably should have not reversed and just changed directions. And now I make a small mistake here by letting this guy... I armor not hit him somehow, and I let him pick up the drop, which is really bad for me. I put an acid shot into him, but he repairs it. This is why the acid shot, you need to use the acid shot carefully. But I managed to kill him anyway, because he has no HP basically. He was like a 2-shot. And now I shoot this guy. I focus the higher... Why am I focusing the Beowulf? Because he's level 7 and the Valkyrie is only level 6. Which means that the Beowulf is much more dangerous. And now he used the ability, but I don't really care. Because he's in the zone, he has two choices. Either get out of the zone, which is the right choice in this scenario, or go for the red drop and risk getting tracked in the zone. Which, spoiler alert, that's what he does. He goes for the red drop. Very greedy move. I managed to track him, which means he will repair it, and which means that I can use my acid into him. And he has nothing for this. For 700, 600, and just the numbers just keep going, but I bounce him so I couldn't kill him. It doesn't matter, I only have 4 kills anyway. So I don't really care about kills, I only care about damage at this point. And now this guy, I bounce him because he stopped just before I've shot and I hit his other plate. I hit him. Now I'm looking at where he's placing mines. Okay, he placed down the mines there. He damages my engine, and I bounce him again, which is really annoying. And I couldn't track him and damage him at the same time. However, remember, he doesn't have repair kits, which means an acid shot needs to go into him. And now he's constantly getting damaged. By the way, acid shot does 25% of the max HP for the tank. And now I ricochet him again, which is very unfortunate. However, I just managed to pick up the drop and kill him in time. If I was just a few milliseconds slower, he could have probably rammed me and picked up the drop. So that was quite lucky that I won. But we managed to do 28,000 damage with this tank and get 5 kills, which is not bad considering the damage. But that's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did, and see you in the next one.